Hello, and welcome to CampManager, the UK and Ireland's leading booking and management system for campsites, holiday parks and glampsites. We have been providing cloud-based systems for over 16 years and have now over 600 clients throughout the UK and Ireland that use our platform to manage and centralize all their bookings in one place. My name is Jonathan, and today we will be exploring the use of online travel agents, or OTAs, such as Booking.com and Airbnb. We will be looking at the various types of OTAs and their commercial models. Why you might choose to use an OTA. When you should, and more importantly, when you should not. Also, I will discuss the disadvantages of OTAs and the common mistakes many make when using them, and what you can do to obtain more direct bookings. There are lots of places online that you can use to advertise, whether that's for camping pitches or rental accommodation. Generally, we find that there are three main types of online travel agent. Firstly, there are basic listing sites. These provide just a listing, such as Quirky.com, camping.info, or Go Glamping. And you usually pay a set annual fee to advertise. These sites allow guests to browse and find accommodation, but usually don't allow them to book instantly. They can often work well to raise your brand awareness and help you receive inquiries and indirect bookings. However, these sites can be time-consuming to manage, as you often have to respond to the inquiries manually, and you can get inundated with guests looking to stay for dates that you have already filled. The second type is the non-exclusive OTA. These are by far the most common, such as Booking.com, Airbnb, and Pitchup. You decide how many units to give them, and they will charge a commission of around 10 to 18% for any bookings they take. These bookings are usually made instantly, and without manual input. You are in control of these sites, and you can usually turn them on and off when needed. However, you need to invest in a booking system, or channel management system, to synchronize your availability across multiple platforms. As if you don't, you run the risk of receiving double bookings. Finally, you have the exclusive OTA. This is where you sign a contract with an OTA such as Sykes Cottages or Hoseasons. This contract usually prevents you from using other agents. They will seek to act as a sole agent for an exclusive allocation of units. They charge a commission on the bookings they get, and depending on your agreement, even charge you a commission on your own direct bookings. Usually they come with a much higher commission rate, anywhere between 20 to 30%. You lose control and are heavily reliant on their performance to generate bookings, which can be a problem if they are not performing well, and you are stuck in a contract. So, why would you use an OTA? Using OTAs provides instant access to a large number of potential customers, expanding your marketing reach and exposure, enabling you to attract more bookings. This can be especially useful if you are a new site and are just starting out. Depending on the type of OTA, it can work out as a low-cost way to advertise your accommodation. OTAs can also be useful to fill gaps and last-minute spaces. But they should not be used for everyday bookings or at peak times. OTA websites are also a helpful tool from the consumer's perspective, as it allows them to quickly compare prices, features, and read reviews of many sites, all from one platform. What are the disadvantages and common mistakes when using OTAs? Careful consideration must be taken when choosing what type of OTA to use, and when to use them. Firstly, there is a cost which reduces your income. Whether that's an annual fee, or a commission, so it's best to do your homework before committing to any of these. It can be risky if you are tied into a contract, yet they don't perform well, as you can be left with a lot of empty nights, and the inability to use other OTAs or generate your own bookings. On listing sites, you pay upfront for the year and hope they will help, but it is difficult to measure their successfulness. Bookable non-exclusive OTAs require constant management. Not just at the start, but on an ongoing basis. You need to input your prices, set your allocation, and manage your availability. As these bookings are instant, there is a risk of double bookings. Thankfully, CampManager provides the ability to synchronize availability and prevent double bookings. The biggest mistake is to give your customers the incentive to book on these websites. The incentive should be to book direct. So what are these incentives? Firstly, don't sell your product cheaper on OTAs. Often customers are savvy and will do a separate Google search to see if they can book the same accommodation cheaper elsewhere, or with better terms. Charging less on an OTA will inevitably drive direct bookings away. This leaves you paying commission and receiving less income overall. An example of this is Booking.com. They offer a loyalty program for consumers called Genius. This scheme provides guests with a 10% discount on their stay when booked via their website. There are some benefits to this scheme, but inevitably it reduces your income by a further 10% on top of their commission. Next, be careful with the deposit policies, payment terms and cancellation policies offered to customers by OTAs. These can often provide customers with the incentive to book through their website, and not yours. For example, Pitchup usually takes a 15% non-refundable deposit to confirm the booking. However, many campsites take a much higher deposit, around 30 to 40%. This provides customers with an incentive to book via Pitchup, as the customer will only lose 15% if they decide not to go. Another example is where Booking.com promote free cancellation and recommend that you allow guests to cancel for free a day or two before arrival. However, many holiday parks require full payment around 14 to 28 days when booking direct. Again, this provides customers with an incentive to book via Booking.com. By far the most important thing is to manage your allocation and availability regularly. Allocation and availability are two different things. Allocation is the number of units you give to an OTA, and availability states when these units can be booked. It's easy for most campsites and holiday parks to fill Easter and summer holidays themselves, so why give OTAs anything for these times? If you do, you are just converting direct bookings to commission bookings. You have plenty of time to take as many direct bookings as possible for next year. You can control your availability within CampManager for each platform. You can block out specific units and dates, preventing OTAs from booking these, whilst still being able to take bookings for these via your own website. Then closer to the time, if you still have some empty spaces, you can then release these to the OTAs. CampManager also displays your occupancy performance for each type of accommodation, or pitch type. It allows you to make informed decisions, identify the peaks and troughs, and when you may need to supplement your own bookings with OTAs to increase occupancy. Without learning from these common pitfalls, OTAs may start converting a lot of direct bookings away from you, and you can easily get lulled into a false sense of reality. You may think that you are busy with lots of bookings, however, these bookings are putting additional pressure on staff and facilities, and are not necessarily providing more income. You can easily lose control of your bookings and feel that you are reliant on OTAs. It's a balancing act, and best managed well when you have a tool for the job, such as CampManager. Although OTAs can help you to fill accommodation, it is important to maximize your most profitable revenues through commission-free bookings on your own website. Most sites receive an average of 40 to 60% of returning customers, and it is extremely frustrating when a returning guest books via an OTA, and not directly. So, what can you do to incentivize customers to book direct? Firstly, make sure that your website and online booking system is up to date, providing guests with all the information they need, such as descriptions and features of each accommodation, and professional photos. Without this, customers will either call you, defeating the purpose of the online booking system, or go elsewhere. Next, reward loyal and returning customers, especially those that initially booked via an OTA. Many of our clients send an automated email out after customers depart, thanking them for their stay, and providing them with a 5% discount code that they can use by booking again directly. You could also reward longer stays with a discount, for example, stay 7 nights and get 10% off. This often can't be replicated by OTAs and provides an incentive for customers to book direct. Remember to target customers that have previously stayed with you, whether that's by email, direct marketing, or social media, and tempt them to rebook directly. You should try to avoid price parity sites, and charge more to guests that book through these websites. Some OTAs, such as Booking.com and Expedia, don't enforce price parity in the UK, so you can increase your rates to cover your commission costs. CampManager can do this automatically by inflating your rates by a percentage. While rate parity clauses generally restrict your ability to offer and promote lower rates on your own website, many have found alternative methods to incentivize direct bookings. For example, you could offer multiple rates with different terms, deposit options or cancellation policies, such as a standard rate which has parity with OTAs, and a cheaper non-refundable rate on your own website, requiring guests to pay up front and in full. Finally, provide other additional benefits or incentives to customers that can't be offered by OTAs, such as offering guests the ability to pick their own pitch or unit when booking direct, or packaging additional amenities such as complimentary Wi-Fi or breakfast. In many cases, your rates aren't lower than the OTAs, but the perceived value to the guest is visibly higher. Many clients often retain exclusive accommodation or pitch types for their own website. For instance, give some of your standard pitches to Pitchup, but keep your serviced or premium pitches for direct bookings. Encourage early direct bookings by offering previous guests the ability to book again for next year, before releasing any availability on OTAs. This way, regular customers don't accidentally book via these sites. It's the campsites and holiday parks that use CampManager's professional booking and management system that are in the best position to offer these tactics and get more customers to book direct, ultimately saving on commission and generating more money for their business. Thank you for listening, and hopefully this video has expanded your knowledge on how to use OTAs to your advantage. If you have any questions, or want to learn more about how CampManager can maximize direct bookings for your business, contact us today to arrange a free demonstration.